Hello, guys. This is Gods on Goal, and welcome back to another episode. We're going to talk about Arsenal as usual. It's been several days that I haven't been able to post because trying to catch up with the transfer news, trying to catch up with what's happening, the banter that's going on. The last game we actually played, I think we lost against Spurs 1-0. Yeah, that was one of those friendlies that they won, and there was a trophy involved. But nonetheless, this is a good time to actually talk about the transfers that we've done. So, yes, we saw some slight improvement in our gameplay. Maybe didn't score a lot of goals, but at least we saw a little bit of Gyökeres to play. I'm yet to see Madueke. Noagar had a beautiful game that last time. So the next preseason game will be against Villarreal, and it will be at the Emirates. At least I'm certain Gyökeres will get a lot of chances to actually play. So that's also a good thing. And the season is like about 2 to 3 weeks away, and we will be very ready for that. We'll be very ready for that at Old Trafford. And a lot has been happening just to trying to catch up with everything because I haven't been able to record a lot of episodes most of the time. But from now at least, I'm now my schedule is it's free. I can be able to post some, but talk about the number of targets we have. The people who have already signed, the guys that want to leave, etc. What our rivals are doing, especially Liverpool, because now they are actually chasing Isak, which would have been my preferred signing if we didn't get Sesko. So yes, they are about to make another bid. They made a 120 million bid pounds. That was rejected, of course, but because they are actually asking for around 150. I don't know how much Liverpool can be able to reach, but since they'll be selling Darwin Nunes and they'll be looking for a replacement of Jota as they added Ekitike to the team, I can say it doesn't matter really what they do because they'll actually do what they want to do to actually continue winning the league. And if we can't be able to catch up with them, if we can't be able to you know make the signings that we actually need, then it's becoming a problem for us. And at least you can be able to challenge for the league, let's say. It's quite challenging to actually think about Liverpool getting their hands on those striking enforcements. And if Salah maintains what he had last season, and they had goals with with Isak, and then to some extent they get Ekitike scoring. They have Florian Wirtz, they have Sosbola in their team. They have some good firepower in their team. And it's no joke. They actually want to retain the Premier League. They want to win it at every cost. Same case with us, because now we are short on striking enforcements because we are actually linked with Eberechi Eze from Crystal Palace, and that would be an interesting signing also. Would add more depth into our attack, especially when Odegaard isn't really firing enough. We have Nwaneri, we have Max Doman. Hopefully Martinelli can be able to get his shooting boots back. I mean, there's a lot that is happening, and from my perspective, I think if we are able to actually increase our chances in basically winning games, let's just win more games and see how it goes. And the first 5 games, we are facing Manchester United, and then the second time we have Leeds. We have to go to Anfield, we have to go to Newcastle, and then we have to play Man City, if I'm not wrong. Or is it Spurs? Either of those teams. I think it is Spurs of Man City. One of those teams we have to play in the first 5 games. Then we go to an international break after the third game. That is after Anfield. And as much as we are waiting for football to come back, I don't like these international breaks. And fortunately or unfortunately, since it's a World Cup year, there's a high chance that there are going to be several international breaks. So let's just gear for that and see how it goes. What I'm actually praying for the coming season is that we'll be able to keep our players fit. We'll be able to maximize on whatever we have. And hopefully our rivals don't win as many games as we'd expect them to do. But we can we all have it in our control. I don't know how the game at Anfield will go, but if we actually win that specific game, maybe we win the first 3 games, especially this month. Those are 9 clear points against our rivals, Yes, especially I want to win against Newcastle. That is one of the games that I want to win. And the next one has to be Anfield and Manchester United, then Leeds. So yes, those 3-4 games are really important and are really crucial to our season, because within the first 5 games, if we don't get a minimum of 12 to 15 points, 12 to 15 points, maybe let's say at worst maybe 10 points, but 12 to 15 points is the bare minimum out of those 5 games. At least win 3, don't lose any of those other games. The games that you maybe can be allowed to not win, maybe against Liverpool, maybe Newcastle. I think we can still beat Manchester United at Old Trafford. I don't see them, being that difficult, but they'll definitely make us play differently when we play them. And these are the kind of teams that turn up when we don't expect them to do so. So that's what I'm actually gearing up to. Apart from Spurs, we were going to face PSG on I think it's on the 13th in the Super Cup final. I won't be asked about what our rivals are doing in terms of playing, but we really this coming season, not necessarily a make or break season, but we actually need to find a way to win trophies. That is my basic thing, and it doesn't matter whether it's a Mickey Mouse trophy like they call it, the Carabao Cup. I have one of my friends. he doesn't like the idea of us challenging for either the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. In his mind, he says that we have to win the Champions League and we have to win the Premier League. Two of the most difficult trophies or the competitions to win, because with the Premier League, as you've noticed, for the past 10 years, it has been won only by 2 teams, and that is Man City and Liverpool. When you go to the Champions League, I think the Real Madrid have about 4 of them, if not 5. But you saw how difficult it is when we faced PSG. PSG had never won a Champions League, but the way they were playing, they played like winners. We expected actually the final with them against Inter Milan to be tough, but those guys were smoked heavily. They couldn't really believe what was going on. But yes, for one, I know we have to go for the quadruple. Of course, I'll be quoted, I'll be tagged, they'll mention how how deluded I sound or whatever it is, but they'll have to make sure that we win something. And the first final has to be at Wembley on March. It doesn't matter the opponent, because if we reach the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup this year, so that is a minimum requirement for the Carabao Cup. We think we have a nice squad, with fringe players like Norgard who came in. Zubimeni can get some minutes. We have Havertz, we have Gyökeres, we also have Madueke. We have several players. We have players like Mosquera. We have I don't know whether Zinchenko is going to stay, but still he's going to be there. Calafiori is there. This group of players. Oh, we also have Kepa. Kepa is a Balaga as the goalkeeper. This group of players, I think they're well equipped enough to go further down the line in the cup games. The FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Those are the main guys. If I was Arteta, I would ensure that my B team, or rather this second team, can be able to challenge for those cups comfortably and actually go and win it. We have to go to Wembley twice this season, whether they like it or not, because if we win stuff this season, it would be really a great chance to actually buy more players, get to to talk to to our rivals and tell them, we actually did it. We actually spent money wisely. We did what we had to do. And instead of calling us, they went trophyless, blah blah blah, and all that nonsense. But hey, this is just me. In terms of what we should actually do, we should basically just focus on winning the league. That would be the ultimate test. Even if we don't win the Champions League this season, because we actually reached the semi-finals again. That's also another thing. And remember the games against Real Madrid, they were good. They were really good. And also they said that we didn't play well against PSG because we lost both games. That's also another thing. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really, because they won. They are the deserved winners according to me. I still hurts up to now that they actually won. But what exactly can I really moan about? Because we had our chances, so we go again next season. They're calling us Netflix FC, so nothing really that I subscribe to, but it is what it is at this point. We have to win. We have to win at all costs. We have to find a way. We have to find a way to produce the goods this season, because the pressure is building. I know, or I hope that Arteta won't leave, or rather they won't be sacked, because he has kept a nice system. He can be able to get players to do his things, etc, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, winning is all that matters. And the new signings that we have, the few games that are left, as we gear on to the next season, we'll be definitely talking about other rivals, what they're doing, especially the teams that are actually closer to us. Because as much as we are undermining Man City, remember these are the guys who won 4 league titles in a row. And they've bought well, they've done a good job. Guardiola has proven that he can be able to win league titles. It's not like he became a bum overnight. Not like he lost his mojo or something. We're actually challenging like 3 to 5 teams, let's say, because they have Liverpool there, we have Man City. As much as I hate to say it, we have Chelsea in that mix also, because Chelsea have a way of scamming things. I don't know whether they'll be able to win the league. I don't know whether they can. But why would I take that chance to actually imagine them winning the league before us? They have been on an 8-year drought. Doesn't seem like it will end soon, but with the kind of players that they are actually buying right now, because look at their depth. They are having João Pedro and Delap, and they are replacing Jackson. So they have Pedro Neto, they have Cole Palmer, whom I actually like very much. They are adding Xavi Simons, they added Gerald Hato to the defense. Their midfield is good with Caicedo and Enzo. Like, if you look at their team, it has some really good individual players in between. I don't know about their coach, or their team mentality itself, but they are the world champions, whether we like to say it or not. They have actually won things. They've actually done their bits of business. So they are up there with among the teams that are going to challenge for the league. Man City, they have been in the conversation for more than 15 years, to say the least, from when I started knowing them. So yes, they've been in the conversation all the time. Liverpool have been the nearly team, but they've actually won now twice, when Man City haven't won. That's also another thing. And we counted them off, saying, they're going to be having a new coach, they won't be able to cope, blah blah blah. And what did we actually see? They went and strolled the league unchallenged with us. We've been finished second like three seasons in a row now. Now it's time to make that step up, make that final push, make it actually count. But what do I really know? Because with the way the season goes, with the referees, with the injuries, with how Arteta sets up our teams, how teams play against us, teams decide, like, they become prime Barcelona once they meet us, and they don't really care. They want to win against us at all costs. Now that we have a striker, and majority of the fans, and I was included, saying that we actually need a striker, but generally a striker really isn't really going to solve our problems. We need to have players who can actually win us games. Like in our team, we currently have only Rice and Saka. That's all. We don't have like match winners. When you go to Man City, we can get Haaland, get this crucial win over them. We had players like Bernardo Silva. We had Kevin De Bruyne, who was actually playing in Napoli right now. So they had players who pulled like a miracle in between games which were actually tight. And the games they were supposed to win, they actually made sure they won. So that is actually what we need in our team. So right now that we've added Gyökeres, at least we can know we have now a proven goal scorer there. With Madueke, yes, he's a young player, 23 years old only, but he will improve, and I know he will improve. I am actually I'm actually betting on him to actually have a very, very good season. You know, like for example, if he gets like 20 goals and assists this season only, that is a good investment in money. And to top it off, if you actually win things now with him in the team, that's a plus for us. That's guaranteed success if he bangs. And if he fails, people will blame Arteta by buying players who we don't really need, blah blah blah, and all that nonsense. So all in all, we have to find a way to win. That is the main point. And with the new signings and the season that is coming to, coming closer to us, we will definitely see how the season goes. But in terms of what our rivals are doing, I'm kind of scared. But yes, let's add the players that we have. If we can be able to add Eze to the team, and we can be able to add a left winger, let's say someone like Rafael Leao, then maybe we can have a chance. But let's see. So yeah, that's all for today. I guess that's all I can be able to talk about. I'll be able to post more episodes and see. So right now we are on a Spotify. Finally on Spotify. You can find these episodes on Spotify. This from this beginning these episodes to more. You can also find us on YouTube. Those are the only two main channels you can find us. This is Goats on Goal. Remember to like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, especially that. And then as the season goes, I'll be able to get more audios, to be able to share more details on what he's going through. And if I can be able to share videos, you'll find it on my YouTube page, especially YouTube Shorts. You'll be able to talk about the games that you can be able to talk about, because since the season is starting, there's a lot of football out there. So yeah, do have a good day, and thank you for everything. So yes, remember to like, share and subscribe. This is Gods.